Good afternoon everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me again on these little adventures. Hope you're all well. I'm here on Whitegate Drive in Blackpool today. This video is a bit of a history one for you. As I've said, I'm on Whitegate Drive here in Blackpool, and back in the 1860s, 1870s, it used to actually be called Whitegate Lane. Now, I'm just looking at a building over here, just here. There's a little sign on a post there, part of that wall. It says Agnew Villas, 1879. Now, you've got to remember, this was back when there was maybe only a couple of buildings on here, and it was fields, and trams used to actually run down here at one point during the late 1800s, 1900s. I'm not sure the dates, so don't quote me on that, but trams did used to run down here as part of the Blackpool Circular. So yeah, it's all quite an interesting little area. There's a lot more history on this road than people realise, to be fair. And also back in 1890, with I think there's a population of over 23,000 people, Blackpool did not have a hospital. You had to go to Preston. Now, as you can imagine, back then with transport, etc, etc, Preston was going to be quite a trek, and the odds are a few never made it. In 1890, our local mayor at the time, Sir John Bickerstaff, decided that this just was not good enough. With the amount of people that lived in Blackpool, they really, really needed a hospital in the town. Don't forget, even back then, Blackpool was a very young town, but it was growing rapidly. You know, it kept expanding, new buildings kept going up. So anyway, funds were raised for a piece of land here on Whitegate Lane, as it was back then, and they started building a hospital. So building took place in pretty much record time for those days, and on the 25th of August 1894, the Blackpool Infirmary was opened. And it stood right here where the Whitegate Drive Health Centre now stands. At this time, the hospital had 12 beds and 3 cots for children. So on the 22nd of June 1897, it was Queen Victoria's Diamond Jubilee, and in honour of the Jubilee, the hospital was renamed Blackpool Victoria Hospital. It soon became evident that this place just was not going to be big enough. So eventually the site for the new hospital was decided upon, which is, as we know, those of us that live in Blackpool, is now Winnie Hayes Lane. There was a hall called Winnie Hayes Hall, and it was bought by the Blackpool Corporation at the time, and that was the site for the new hospital, with then very modern facilities, etc, etc. Lord Derby laid the first foundation stone on the 9th of June 1933 for the new hospital, and by the 29th of September 1936 the hospital was almost completed. New patients began to arrive from the Whitegate Drive Hospital, which eventually became today's walking centre. Now, another walking centre was actually built and completed around 2010. What happened to the building between 2010 back to 1936? What happened to it? What did it become? Was it just left abandoned? Was it used for another purpose? Do you know, I don't know the answer to that. So, if any of you know, please drop it in the comments below. Because obviously patients and everything started moving out into the new hospital from 1936. Now it might have taken a little while to get everything done and fully moved, but what happened to this old building? I'm really curious to know that. So yeah, if anyone does know, let me know. Also, the style of building that the old infirmary had was very, very similar to the Elmsley Girls' School on Whitegate Drive, which started off as a private house. I've done a video on it in the past, so you can actually see how similar the style of building actually was. You know, bear in mind, there was only a few buildings on here. One of them was the Saddle Pub, the hospital, Elmsley. You know, there wasn't that many, and some cottages. But yeah, you know, I'm going to wrap it up here, and I hope you've enjoyed this little historical adventure. I do them sometimes, and I will catch you next time around. So hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for subscribing, liking and commenting. As always, it means such a lot to me. Until next time, catch you later.